Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, I post videos like vlogs and covers all the time, and we're doing this new segment where we call it Let's Talk Worship. Where it's going to be me, or two guys, or three people, and we're just going to talk about a whole bunch of topics about worship, all right? This is Christian Armaloa. He's a fellow musician here with ICC and R4L, and today we're going to be talking about how to lead worship. But enough of that, let's get into the intro. Alright, you guys, welcome back. So again, this topic is going to be how to lead worship, right? So Christian, you play piano and you do sing. Is there something that you do specifically or something that even comes to your mind when we talk about leading worship?
Well, like when you're leading worship, you want to kind of engage with your audience, such as smiling, which is an important thing, because there's only so much you can do when you're behind the piano.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a mic, you're limited. So one of the most important things is smiling and even singing along to the song.
Oh yeah. And I like that you did hit smiling. Smiling, just smiling in general, that's it. Just goes a long way. If you're up there playing or you're up there singing and then you just look like you're miserable or you just have just a straight face, the audience is gonna pretty much do exactly what you're doing. When you're up there in the stage, whether you're singing or playing, whatever you're doing on stage, the audience is going to mimic what you're doing. What they're seeing is pretty much, I like to call it a mirror. If you're up there smiling, they're going to be down there smiling. If you're up there praising and worshiping, they're going to be worshiping. If you lift up your hands, they're going to be lifting up their hands. Everything that you do, they're going to mimic. And a story comes to me when I was a younger guy, I was about your age, and I would play guitar. My mother, she was the one that would lead worship. And when she led worship and she noticed that nobody's really worshiping, they're all there just killing time, she would literally take her mic, walk off stage into the crowd, and stand next to the person and sing, and then give them the mic and make them sing. I mean, it's really funny to think about it now, but like back then, like I loved it when she did that.
And that can go both ways. It could either hype the audience up or, man,
Yeah,
it's a couple of times that's happened here, especially where when somebody came and didn't go their way.
So another way to engage with your audience is talking in between songs. So your first song just finished. You've got about 20 to about 30 seconds in between songs. So you have 20 to 30 seconds to impact the crowd. You can say anything. Okay, so I know you've sang before. Obviously you've sang before.
Yeah.
What, in between those two songs, what is something that you would say, or how would you prepare yourself to talk?
Well, basically, I would either, let's say, pick a Bible verse or even start off with a question, such as, how many of you guys have had a bad week? And, because I've had a bad week. And they can kind of relate with you in a way. And that'll, in a way, bring them closer to you. Mm-hmm. And then you start off the next song and it'll get them in the rhythm of what you're going for.
Yeah, and picking the Bible verse, you can always, worst case scenario, you don't know what to say, pick a Bible verse. The next song, let's say, for example, is Break Every Chain. If you have no idea what to say, pick a Bible verse that has to do with that song. And to do this, the one thing you need is to know your Bible. You need to study your Bible. To lead worship, you need to study your Bible. Because how are you gonna just break out Psalms 150? Yeah, that can work.
Because sometimes it could even be
like, for example, you can't always just throw, what is it, John
3:16.
John 3:16. That's the only verse you know. That's the only verse you're going to say. No, you need to be able to study your Bible and make it personal so that they can relate to that. That's what you want, is for them to No, oh, he said he had a bad week. Wow, I had a bad week too. And that's already starting that worship vibe.
Yeah, because if it's gonna be even spontaneous. Sometimes your practice is not gonna come out as the Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm. And practice. When you're rehearsing, your rehearsal, whether you rehearse during the week, whether you rehearse that Sunday morning, that rehearsal should be exactly the way a worship set would be. A lot of people, they'll rehearse,
Go through the songs.
they'll go through the songs, they'll cut the song in half, they'll start from this side and end the song, let's work on the other song. And well, yes, it works, you are practicing the songs, but remember at the end of the day, you're not just playing a song or just singing a song, you're worshiping. So what I like to do when we run our Ready for Life worship set, when we do a rehearsal, yeah, we'll practice the songs. That's great, we have the songs now. Now, let's run it from the beginning, the same way we would run it on our Friday nights. And by doing that, you're giving your singers or whoever's leading that song time to not only practice the song, but to know what they're gonna say, how they're gonna influence the audience to worship.
And coming with more confidence.
Exactly, and confidence is always key. I mean,
Yeah.
if you come up there and you're singing and you're over here in your little cocoon and singing to worship you, you're not gonna influence anybody. They're gonna be doing the same thing you're doing.
When the spontaneous worship comes into play, you freeze up because you don't know
what to do.
We didn't practice this.
Yeah.
So that's very important. And this person's dressing more kind of like me, and it draws people's attention. Sometimes it's not a good thing, but like it helps people relate more.
I think a lot of people don't really fully understand that when you're worshiping or you're a worship leader, or you're just leading a song in general, you quite literally have the power to change somebody's mood. I mean, what's the first thing that you do when you go to church? It's the music. Let's say it's Sunday morning. I've had a crappy week. I got fired from my job. I wrecked my car. And the last thing that I even want to do is go to church. But the first person I see when I go to church is a person who's leading worship. And if that person who's leading worship is here singing in a little cocoon, guess what? You just made my week a whole lot worse. But if you go in there and everybody's just hyped, that music's just going, that countdown is at 5 seconds, and when it hits 0, everybody just stands up and just starts worshiping. I don't care what happened during that week. I'm just smiling. Like, you just changed my mood completely. And I leave that Sunday completely forgetting about my week and ready to start a new week with a new mood, changed. Well, that's all the time we have, you guys. If you guys liked the video, make sure to smash that like button. If you guys have any sort of topics that you guys want us to talk about, leave a comment down below. Make sure to subscribe, click that bell notification. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Follow my Christian here on Instagram. I'm gonna have all the social media links down below. And that's a wrap for this video, right? All right, until next time, see you guys later.